The village of Ijoka was small, it was quiet, it was peaceful, nestled amongst rolling hills and lush vegetation. Life in Ijoka moved at the pace of the seasons. The villagers were simple, hard-working people. They farmed the land, traded their goods, and lived in harmony with nature.
I yearn for more than this simple life. Wealth, power, a life beyond these borders. I dream of it all.
Tunde, a young man with ambition that burned brighter than the midday sun, called Ijoka home. He was not inherently greedy, but restless. He looked at the world outside Ijoka with a yearning heart, desiring the comforts and luxuries that seemed as distant as the stars. He longed to bring these things back to Ijoka, to elevate his family, his village, and himself.
I want to bring prosperity to my family, to our village. There must be a way.
One evening, as the sky blazed with the colors of the setting sun, Tunde sat with the elders. He listened intently to their stories, tales of bravery, love, loss, and ancient secrets woven into the fabric of their history. It was on one such evening that Tunde heard the legend of the cursed gold. The legend spoke of a chest filled with gold, hidden deep within the heart of the forbidden forest, guarded fiercely by Aje, the Yoruba spirit of wealth and prosperity. Aje, a powerful and capricious entity, demanded respect and reverence. Those who dared to seek her treasure without offering due homage often met with terrible fates.
The gold is a curse, not a blessing. True wealth lies in our traditions, our community, our connection to the land.
The elders spoke of the gold with a mixture of awe and fear. They believed that true wealth lay not in material possessions, but in the richness of their traditions, their community, and their connection to the land.
Many have sought the gold, but none have returned whole. Beware, Tunde.
Tunde, however, was captivated. The legend of the cursed gold sparked a fire within him, a burning desire that eclipsed all reason. He saw it not as a curse, but as an opportunity, a chance to attain the life he so desperately craved.
This gold could change everything. I must find it.
The elders warned him of the dangers, of the consequences of disturbing Aje's treasure. They told him of the men who had ventured into the forbidden forest, lured by greed, only to return broken, driven mad by their encounter with the spirit. Their words, heavy with caution, fell on deaf ears. Tunde, blinded by his ambition, dismissed their warnings as mere superstition. Driven by his insatiable desire, Tunde decided to seek the cursed gold. He meticulously prepared, gathering supplies and studying the stories, the myths, the legends. He ventured into the forbidden forest under the cloak of darkness, his heart pounding with a mixture of fear and anticipation.
I will find it. I have to.
The forest was alive with unseen eyes, rustling leaves, and the eerie calls of nocturnal creatures. Each step deeper into the forest filled Tunde with a growing sense of unease, yet he pressed on. After days of searching, guided by instinct and the faint whispers of the wind, Tunde stumbled upon a clearing bathed in an ethereal moonlight. There in the center lay a chest. It was ornate, ancient, and pulsated with an otherworldly glow. He knew instantly that he had found it, the cursed gold of Ijoka.
This is it, the cursed gold.
As he reached for the chest, the air grew heavy. The temperature dropped, sending a shiver down his spine. A low growl reverberated through the clearing, and a figure began to solidify from the shadows. It was Aje, the Yoruba spirit of wealth. Her eyes burning with an unearthly fire, fear, raw and primal, gripped Tunde's heart. Aje's voice, when she spoke, was like the rustling of leaves and the crackling of flames. She warned Tunde of the consequences of his actions. She explained that the gold was not his to take, it was hers, a symbol of her power and domain.
The gold is mine. Leave now and face no repercussions, or take it and face my wrath.
Tunde, blinded by the sight of the treasure, ignored Aje's warning. He argued that the gold could bring prosperity to Ijoka, that he could use it for good.
This gold could bring prosperity to Ijoka. I can use it for good.
Aje laughed, a chilling sound that echoed through the forest. She explained that true prosperity came not from material wealth, but from balance, respect, and understanding.
True prosperity comes from balance, respect, and understanding, not from gold.
Aje, seeing the unwavering greed in Tunde's eyes, sighed. She knew she could not dissuade him. She allowed him to take the gold, but not without a heavy price. She placed a curse upon him, a curse that would manifest in ways he could never have imagined.
Take the gold, but know this. It will bring you nothing but sorrow. It will poison your soul and destroy everything you hold dear.
She warned him that the gold would bring him nothing but sorrow, that it would poison his soul and destroy everything he held dear. Tunde began to use the gold to improve the village, to help his family. For a while, things seemed to be going as he had planned. The villagers rejoiced in their newfound fortune, showering Tunde with praise and admiration. Tunde as Tunde. But it wasn't long before the curse began to manifest. Crops withered, livestock fell ill, and a strange sickness began to spread through the village. Fear and paranoia gripped the villagers. They began to whisper that Tunde's newfound wealth was cursed, that he had angered the spirits. Tunde as Tunde. Desperate to find a solution, I sought the help of the village herbalist, Baba Kolade. Baba Kolade as Baba Kolade. Tunde, the gold you possess is tainted. It cannot bring true prosperity. You must return it to the forest and beg Ajay for forgiveness. Baba Kolade, renowned for his wisdom and his connection to the spiritual realm, immediately sensed the presence of Ajay's curse. He warned Tunde that the gold was tainted and advised him to return it to the forest. Tunde as Tunde. I understand, Baba Kolade. I will do as you say. With a heavy heart, Tunde knew what he had to do. The fate of the village depended on his next move.
Torn between my desire for the good life I craved and the escalating misfortune around me, I hesitated. I wanted to believe Mama Chioma, to rid myself of the curse. But the allure of the gold, the power it represented, was too strong to resist. I ignored Mama Chioma's advice, clinging to the belief that I could control the situation, that I could somehow outsmart the curse.
As time passed, the curse worsened. The strange sickness spread, claiming the lives of several villagers. Whispers turned to accusations, admiration to scorn. Tunde, once hailed as a hero, became an outcast, blamed for bringing misfortune upon their village. The weight of his actions, the consequences of his greed, began to crush Tunde. He was haunted by nightmares, plagued by guilt and remorse. He watched in horror as the village he had so desperately wanted to help crumbled around him, poisoned by the very thing he had believed would save it. The curse, however, was not finished with Tunde. It began to twist his mind, amplifying his fears and insecurities.
I became suspicious of everyone, convinced that they were plotting against me, that they wanted to steal my gold. I withdrew from the village, isolating myself in my hut, surrounded by the cursed treasure.
One night, under the pale glow of the moon, a blood-curdling scream shattered the silence of the night. The villagers, hearts pounding with dread, rushed to the source of the commotion. They found the village elder, a man respected by all, lying lifeless on the ground. His eyes were wide with terror, his hand clutching a pouch filled with gold coins, coins that everyone recognized as part of Tunde's treasure. Panic and suspicion gripped Ijoka. Accusations flew like poisoned darts. Tunde, already ostracized and feared, became the prime suspect. The villagers, blinded by grief and fear, were convinced that he had killed the elder, driven mad by the curse of the gold. They stormed his hut, their faces contorted with rage.
I proclaimed my innocence. I pleaded with them, tried to explain that I had nothing to do with the elder's death, but my words fell on deaf ears.
The villagers, consumed by their grief and manipulated by the insidious power of the curse, refused to listen. They were convinced of his guilt. The village, once a beacon of peace and unity, was now fractured, torn apart by suspicion and fear. The curse had achieved its goal. It had not only brought misfortune upon Ijoka, but had also poisoned the very heart of their community. Overwhelmed and defeated, Tunde was seized by the villagers. They bound his hands and dragged him to the center of the village, their eyes burning with a mixture of betrayal and vengeance. They accused him of murder, of witchcraft, of bringing ruin upon their village. Tunde, his spirit broken, could only watch in despair as the villagers, consumed by the curse's insidious influence, turned on him. The villagers, blinded by their pain and manipulated by the curse, decided to banish Tunde from Ijoka. They believed that by casting him out they would be freeing themselves from the curse, that peace and prosperity would return to their land. They marched him to the edge of the village, the weight of their judgment heavy on his shoulders.
As I stood at the edge of the village, the setting sun casting long shadows across the land, I finally understood the true cost of my greed. I had sought wealth and power, but in my pursuit, I had destroyed everything I held dear. I had lost my family, my friends, my village, and my soul.
The story of Tunde and the cursed gold became a cautionary tale in Ijoka, a reminder of the dangers of greed and the importance of balance. It served as a stark lesson that true wealth lay not in material possessions, but in the strength of their community, the wisdom of their elders, and the respect for the delicate balance of nature.